Yamadharmaraja wanted to dissuade Nachiketas from inquiring into the supreme mystery about the soul, life and death. And in return to the boon he asked for, instruct me as to whether there is any soul. What is the mystery of death? He said, don't ask me that question. I will give you everything else in return. Ima Ramaha Sarathaha Saduryaha Nahi Drisha Lambhaniya Manushyayi. I will give you what? A number of damsels, horses, musical instruments, singing, dance. Go on enjoying their company. Live for hundreds of years. Look into the earth and ask for me. What is the area? What should be the extent of your kingdom? I will give you the whole of earth. But never ask me about the mystery of death. Yama said. You know the little boy Nachiketas? He was replying, having a fleeting body, when I enjoy these things in excess measure, my fleetingness will only get multiplied. And what happens? The more and more I see, the power of the eyes is dissipated. The more and more I hear, the eardrums also become weak. Similarly, my tongue becomes weak, my gums become weak, my skin also becomes wrinkled. So enjoyment is no answer to human life. Enjoyment is no fulfillment to the dignified human life, the intellectual or the introspectional human life. So all that I have to say is that Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha Abhi Sarvam Jividam Alpameva Tavaiva Vahastava Nritya Gide. You say you live for 100 years. What are these 100 years? What is the length of time? Can we measure the time? If you were to show in a graph the infinite length of time and 100 years of a human life, what will it be? It will not be even a decipherable point. So microscopically small it will be. And you seem to be teasing and enteasing me with 100 years of life. These 100 years are nothing, understand? Therefore, what Nachiketas has to give you in response is Tavaiva Vahastava Nritya Gide. Let your singing, dancing, girls, musical instruments and wonderful kingdom, extensive kingdom, all these be in your own safe custody, he said. My dear viewers, do you have a mind to feel the impact of what I say, what Nachiketas told Yama? This is the cultural civilization of our country. We are not ordinary people. We know anything ever in detail. The human life was analyzed in this land long back in the prehistoric times. And whatever analysis they made, whatever findings they arrived at, they sang them in an immortal manner. That is what we call the Vedas. What I told you now about Nachiketas appears in Kathopanishad, the end portion of the Vedas. Now this is where our culture began. And our culture survives even today. We had a number of invasions. All these invasions tried to subvert our culture. In spite of it, the Indian culture, the age-old Vedas, the prehistoric culture that we had, that we sprang up in the Gangetic plain, when the entire world did not have anything called religion or philosophy, either in their mind or words in their dictionary, we had evolved our wonderful way of life. Hinduism is actually not a religion at all. Even our Supreme Court has held that Hinduism is not a religion. It is only a way of life. A way of life related to the individual, related to the family, related to the society, related to the nation, related to the globe and environment. All our values, perceptions, evaluations, insights, assessments, goals and achievements pertaining to all these things. Essentially, there are some disciplines also, regulations and refinement. These are what constitute our wonderful way of life called Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma. Now Prahlada continues to say, Adanta Gobhihi. The householders have their senses unsatiated, unappeased. They have been eating right from the time of a boy. The moment a child is born, it is given some food. We cannot survive without food. Of course, you can fast. I myself have fasted as part of a movement which I took up. It was an indefinite fast. I said, I shall take up the fast, but none of you should come and ask me to withdraw it unless the goal is achieved. So 5 days passed. Naturally, the government felt very shaky And they finally came to us and said, we shall evict whomever you want to evict. Here is the notice put up. Please stop your fast, they said. So we can fast if we want. Mahatma Gandhi fasted for quite a number of days, even 21 days. So it is possible. Otherwise, we require food. And the food is converted into energy globules in our system cells. And these cells are being employed and used every day in the form of activity, whether it is mental-intellectual activity or oral activity, articulation, physical movements, interactions, etc. Cells are being used. So we have to eat food. But one thing, are we eating food to sustain our life, or are we sustaining our life in order to gulp in food? Fast food, super fast food, slow food, so many different types of food. Adamta gobhihi. Our senses are not appeased. Ever since our birth we have been eating and eating and eating. Even now the tongue craves for tastes which are injurious to the stomach. I always say, whatever is good for the tongue is bad for the system and the stomach. And whatever is good for the stomach, the tongue will not like. So human life is a trial. It is a test. It is an examination. You always have to be very judicious, very rational, very evaluative, very discreet in the matter of deciding upon anything. So formulate your habits governed by rationality, have disciplines, have restraints, have a sense of refinement, and have a harmony between the demands of the senses and the needs and the good items of the body. So there should always be a harmony. Adam da gobhihi vrajatam tamisram punah punascharvida charvananam. This is a very special usage. Punaha means again and again. Charvida charvananam means chewing the already masticated. Go on chewing. Sufficiently you have had chewing. Now you are again chewing. So whatever we slept on a bed yesterday, on the same bed we are sleeping. On the same pillow our head is resting. We are sitting on the same sofa. We are seeing the same floor. On the same car we are riding, we are driving. So these are things we have enjoyed. Even then I want more. What more? When are you going to stop it? Life is a process of living and outliving. But this living and outliving are not seen in the matter of eating and sensory enjoyments. What is this? So Prahlada is speaking to the father in a very beautiful manner. It's after all a dialogue between the son and the father. But do you know, it is an enunciation of dharma, the right way of living for all the listeners and the viewers, the readers and the thinkers. It may be a conversation that transpired at a particular time. That is how a narration is facilitated. But the content and the message are not occasional. They are not time bound. They are not place bound. They are not circumstances bound. They are always applicable to all kinds of life and life situations. Punah punascharvida charvananam. So this is the nature of the householders. They are not at all satisfied about eating, drinking, making merry, etc. Such people who give no place for God at all, who are not prepared to think anything higher, deeper, loftier, greater, and more lasting and fulfilling in life. Do you mean to say food alone is the objective of human life? Having a good house, that alone is our objective? Are we not supposed to delight in the subtle things, in our conscious inner realm? Between the mind on the one hand and body on the other. Which is the causal, which is superior, which employs what? The body doesn't employ the mind. On the other hand, the mind operates upon the body and the bodily parts. Every activity, as I always say, is begun from the mind. And the activity rests on the mind. It is concluded, terminated, and remembered by the mind. Are we paying sufficient attention to the prevalence of the mind, existence of the mind, its constitution, its urges, its motivations, etc., and see that the mind is made healthy, very sustaining? Have we thought about the values which will help the mind grow and be enriched? No thought is bestowed upon at all. On the other hand, we are lost in the sensory, enjoymental life. And as a result, what happens? We become older, older, and finally we are not able to chew. This is what happens. Madirna Krishne paradasvato va mithobhipadyeta grihavratanam adanta gobhihi vrajatam tamisram punah punascharvida charvananam. Prahlada doesn't stop. Nate viduhu swarthagatim hi Vishnum durashaya ye behirarthamaninaha Antha yathandhai rupaniyamana vachishatantyam urudam nibaddha nate viduhu. See, the seven-year-old boy is singing a beautiful evaluation of life, which everyone with borrowed ears should hear. So beautiful. These householders, absolutely confused, deluded, living in darkness, they don't understand Swarthagatim hi Vishnum. They don't understand the greatness, the place, the importance of Mahavishnu, the Supreme Lord. What is Mahavishnu, the Lord Hari? Swarthagatim. This is where I feel all of you should know Sanskrit as a language. This was our official language, inter-regional, inter-provincial, inter-kingdom language. As we have primarily English now and also Hindi, we are trying to make. This was the official language we had. Any document was written in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is such a beautiful language, beautiful language. You know, every branch of knowledge is expressed in poetry in this language. You have history written, medicinal science written, Arthashastra, economics written in that. You have philosophy written in this. Anything, Natya Shastra, the science of dancing, music, everything is written in Sanskrit poetry. In California, I don't know whether I told you, there was a conference where the scientists met and they decided that science is an expression and pursuit of intelligence and poetry is a flow of the heart. The two can be parallel, but the two can never be combined to become beautifully one. I was talking in Calcutta in the Institute of Shankara's Institute of Philosophy and Culture. So I was citing this conference and then finally I said, just see what is this finding that they are making. But look into India, all our literature is primarily in Sanskrit poetry. We have got grammar in poetry, dictionary in poetry. We have got something called Amarakosham. It's a kind of a dictionary. It's completely in poetry. You take hold of one word and from the one word you have parallel words which belong to the same gender. So I have seen my teacher when he was teaching Sanskrit, when a particular sound, it is masculine or feminine, he was in doubtful, he would close his eyes. Indira Lokamata Ma Rama Mangala Devata Bhargavi Lokajanani Kshira Sagara Kanyaka. All are epithets of Mahalakshmi. And you will find all are feminine genders. Indira, Lokamata, Ma, Rama, Mangala Devata, Bhargavi, Lokajanani, Kshirasagara Kanyaka. All are feminine gender. So if I know one word, all the other words are equally belonging to the same gender. Everything is in poetry. Poetry alone can be remembered. That is actually the rhythm of the soul, the rhythm of consciousness. Prose you cannot remember at all. So we have written everything in poetry. This is the excellence of our country. Think of Raghuvamsha which Kalidasa has penned. It was the history of Raghu dynasty. See, Mahabharatam, Vedavyasa has written. It tells you about the decline and fall of the Kuru dynasty. That is also poetry. The biography of Rama which Valmiki had penned, that is also in poetry. Ayurvedic science, Charaka, Sushruta, Ashtanga Hridayam, all are in poetry. Arthashastra is in poetry. Astronomy, astrology, poetry. What is not poetry here? It is something very, very beautiful. Now this poetry is facilitated by the Sanskrit language. You can combine words very, very beautifully, like milk and water. When water is added to the milk, the whole milky color, it will come to water. And not only that, the water becomes as priced as milk also. They add milk and they get milk's price. So it is something like that. Na te viduhu swarthagatim hi Vishnum. Vishnu is described as, God is described as swarthagati. What does it mean? The one means of attaining whatever you have, even in the form of selfish desire. All your desires, all your ambitions and aspirations can be fulfilled, provided you are devoted to the Lord, and in that devotion you remain exclusive, wholesome, loyal and zealous. So Mahavishnu is actually Swarthagatim hi Vishnum Durashaya ye Behirarthamaninaha. Why they are not able to understand Lord Vishnu as Swarthagati? Durashaya, because of their confusion, agitation, their undue dominations in the mind. Durashaya, evil, wicked, vociferous and self-destructive desires. Behirarthamaninaha, according to them, everything is outward. Whatever greatness a man has, that greatness has to be measured in terms of money. The land or the buildings he possesses. Land or buildings he possesses. The fixed deposits he has. The extent of gold he has in the form of ornaments. This is what we are taking every man to be judged by the standard of. But in reality, there is a beautiful statement what? A man is to be judged not by what he has, but by what he is. As children, the worth of the children is, are you born in a good family? Do you have a good parentage? Do the parents have a good lineage? Because that is what determines the character, the inner quality of a man. The constituents of the inner personality are character, behavior, the qualities and virtues that adorn our mind and intelligence. You see, you may have money, but to employ the money, mere hands and mere body are not sufficient. We must have a mind in order to employ the wealth in a judicious manner, not in a harmful manner, in a helpful manner, in a benevolent manner, beneficial manner. All these are qualities which the mind has to possess. So a man is to be judged by what he is, not by what he has. Now here what happens? Durashaya e behirarthamaninaha. Everyone is judged by what is his house like, what are his friends like, what is his job, how much money does he have. With all these things his mind may be hollow. He may be a wicked man. He may be a self-destroying person. We should know what it is. Duryodhana had all the glory that he wanted. Poor man, along with 11 Akshahunis of Sena, all of them were completely destroyed in the battlefield only because of the wickedness of this Duryodhana, not for any other reason. Behirarthamaninaha. As human beings, we are not to pin our objectives in the external world. All the things that you have are ultimately to be left. The body in which you are embodied, the hands and feet of which you are employing constantly, and with whose help you are gaining whatever you gain externally, that body itself has to be left. What to speak of the house and the other belongings? Understand this. So our gain has to be something inward, internal, not outward. Durashaya ye behirarthamaninaha andha yathandhaihi upaniyamana. They are reading the Vedas, and Vedas speak of something very great. There is a heaven, there is a hell. After the death you can go to heaven. Everything is beautiful. You will not have even eyelids, so that you don't have to close. Beauty you can always enjoy. Flowery speeches are made by the Vedas. Did you hear me, my viewers? Flowery speeches. Beautiful, flowery. Sri Krishna speaks of the Vedic promises in this manner. Yamimam pushpitam vajam pravadandya vibhaschidaha. The promises and exhortations of the Vedas, they appear to be very glamorous, flowery. But generally, whenever a tree or a plant brings forth flower, it should be followed by a fruit. But this is a particular floweriness which is not followed by a fruit at all. So this is how you have to understand. Pushpitam vacham natu phaladam. The Vedic speeches are very flowery, alluring, enchanting, fascinating, wonderful. But it has no fruit. They are speaking about a heaven. Where is this heaven? High up. Where? We find only air there. We only find some planets here. As far as we know, there is no place where any living being can be in any of the planets or heavenly bodies. But Vedas speak about a heaven. They are using it with a view to catch hold of the mind of a man. It has got a paroksha purpose, not a pratyaksha purpose. Paroksha vado vedoyam balanam anushasanam. Sri Krishna analyzes the Vedas in this manner. They are not speaking in a direct manner. It's an indirect way of presentation. And by the indirect speech, they want to achieve something. A man becomes very proud, conceited. He is out to do anything in this life because he has a strong body, money, resources, manpower, everything. So he becomes unquestionably immoral. Such a man, how to catch hold of his mind, how to enter his mind? He is told, all this you have when you have a body here. But there will come a time when you die, you leave the body. Then none of these resources will follow you. You will alone be there. And you will be governed by the goodness and badness of whatever you do, the papa and the punya. Punya, if you want to have, you can go to heaven. Papa will lead you to hell. So he becomes tempted. And he wants to know, what is the holy act? What is the unholy act? Let me do something holy, etc. So in order to hoodwink the human mind and make him do something good are these wonderful flowery speeches. Now these people are deluded by them. Vachi ishatantyam urudamni baddhaha. Whatever the Vedas say, I have done. Our scriptural prescriptions with regard to various ceremonials and rituals, a 60th birthday celebration, an 80th birthday celebration, marriage anniversary, death anniversary, all these are performances for us. And many of the people do them. And by doing them, what are they feeling? Oh, I am a good man. I am a Vedic person. I have done all these things. So, I am very safe. I am insured. Nothing wrong. This kind of a delusion they have. By clinging to these Vedic statements, without using your discretion, and trying to improve the quality of your mind, become virtuous and noble, be interested in the welfare of the others, fight against your own bad tendencies and plant good tendencies. Instead of doing them, if you get lost in the ritualistic enfoldment, that is not right. So he calls it Antha yatha andhaihi upaniyamanaha. They are blind people and they are led by another blind man. One man comes, you are all blind, is it not? I will lead you. Catch hold of my hand, my back. One man, all the others cling to him. And when that man goes, blind people do not know that the other man is blind because they cannot see. So instead of one man falling, anybody falling, all the others get toppled. This is the benefit that you get. It's a very miserable plight. See how even the scriptural, the Vedic promises are critically evaluated by Sreemad Bhaagavatam. Sreemad Bhagavatam is a Paramahamsya Samhita, 80% of which are Vedanta, Shastras, rational Shastras, 80% of it. And see how it analyzes. Nate viduswartha gadim hi Vishnum durashayaye behir arthamaninaha andha yatha andhairupaniyamanah Vachi shatantyam urudam nibaddha. Then what should they do? They should betake to the supreme and exclusive worship of the Lord. All that you want is devotion, uncorrupted devotion, wholesome devotion, unfluctuating devotion, unprostitutional devotion to the Lord. That devotion can well up only from your heart. And the heart has to be innocent, pure, serene, wholesome, fond of God. To be fond of God is not to be lost in this world. If you are overpowered by the world, you will not be allured by God. So that is important. He makes an assessment very beautiful. This morning in the Prabhadarashmi, I happened to speak about it. Tushte cha tatra kimalabhya ananta adye kim tair guna vyadhikaradiha ye swasiddha dharmadayah kimagulena cha kankshitena saranjusham charanayo upagayatam naha. What a beautiful statement and assessment, my dear souls. This is from the 7th skandha, 6th chapter, verse number 25. Tushte cha tatra kim alabhyam ananta adye. Bah, beautiful. If the infinite, supreme, sovereign Lord is pleased, if the infinite, supreme, sovereign, benign, merciful Lord is pleased, tushte cha tatra kim alabhyam. What is there unachievable, ungainable in this world? My dear souls, you may want to gain anything. It does not matter. I don't care. How are you proposing to gain it? Better be devoted to God, who is the bestower of everything. You cannot propitiate people and get all that you want. Anything you may do, it will not be absolute. But here is an all-giver, all-kind person, merciful person, and he is supreme, infinite and sovereign. Understand God to be so and try to propitiate him with your heart, with your guileless, genial devotion. That's all what is required. Kim tair vyatikaradiha ye swasiddha. When the Supreme Lord is pleased, there is nothing unattainable in this world. That Lord has got 3 properties: Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. These are the constituents of Prakriti. Everything that you find in this world is a combination of these 3, an aggregate of these 3. But the percentages will become different. One person may have 55% of Sattva and the rest of 45 will be Rajas and Tamas. In another man, Rajas will be 55%. In another, Tamas will be 55 or 60. So these gunas make all the differences. You already have a Sattva Rajas Tamo Guna combination. When you start pursuing devotion, you will find steadily the Sattva will grow.